don't think I was racing for my own position?
I didn't say you were. I said.
Just watch what you say, man.
I said thanks for the help.
No, you said it as a Spartan. Oh, I
In the final laps of the 2017 Dover race, Ryan Newman would block race leader Chase Elliott, costing him a win. After the race, Jeff Gordon and Ryan Newman had a conversation about it. During the 2010 Xfinity race at Daytona, Brad Keselowski was spun entering the final corner on the final lap. Keselowski was so upset after he got spun, he drove back around the track after finishing in 14th position to door Kyle Busch after the race. This is one of the more forgotten altercations on the racetrack between Busch and Keselowski, as for years they've always been at odds.
Get any help? Not right now. Now he's going to look low.
Here comes
Meanwhile, going to crash. Kyle Busch, the 22 of Keselowski. What happened? And it looks like there's going to be some discussion in pit road again.
We can talk about what might have happened, but they obviously disagree with that.
Well, there's parts and pieces all over that backstretch.
To take it from now to the time the truck race is going to start to get this place cleaned up for them.
All right, let's take another look at it. Watch the 18, the 22.
Well, Kyle's loose there. Yeah, he gets loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keselowski didn't do anything there.
Oh, I think he thinks maybe Brad gave him some help and he didn't.
Coming to the checkered flag.
And here was the race coming out of 4 for the group up front. Look, watch Harvick.
See Harvick down all the way to the inside right here. Justin Allgaier was trying to figure out who.
Everybody knows Ross Chastain nowadays is the driver of the #1 Busch Light Chevrolet in the Cup Series. But back in the Xfinity Series days, he was racing for an unfunded team, and he was still as aggressive as he is nowadays. This was the time when he ran into Brendan Gaughan, and Brendan Gaughan was extremely upset.
Restart. Continue, Rick.
Yeah. Ross Chastain in the 4, Brendan Gaughan in the 62, and those two trading a little paint as they go down the back stretch. The 62 and the 4, it seems like it's never ending between these two. As the 4 trying to get by the 62, up the racetrack they go, and sideways is Ross Chastain in that 4, but able to clear the 62.
Top 14, top 12 for most of the first part, and we had the loose wheel, which is just racing, man. That happens. But, you know, 2 weeks in a row, I know he doesn't have many races, and I like him a lot normally, but right now I'm going to knock the hell out of him. The first time he gave me a flat, the second time he says he blew a tire, but, you know, if you know you got a tire going, then don't drive underneath somebody. I'm really, last couple weeks been driven with no respect, and you know, we put ourselves back in a decent spot, and we'll go to Road America, we're going to win that sucker.
Dale Earnhardt won here in 1987. He won here in 1993.
Oh,
here comes
this.
Mayfield.
He made a move on the outside there.
Mayfield going for his second career with a Pocono. He nudges him out of the way. Earnhardt goes high. Mayfield is going to win here at Pocono. Oh my! Dale Earnhardt gets rooted out of the way. Jeremy Mayfield waves out of the window. And Mayfield at the final turn of the final lap pushes Earnhardt aside and grabs the win in the Pocono 500.
Boy, oh boy, let me tell you, when you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I've watched Earnhardt do that on many, many races. Coming out of the last corner, just touch a person enough to get him out wide.
Jeremy Mayfield on the final turn of the final lap just shoves Earnhardt out of the way. And now Earnhardt comes alongside Mayfield. Watch it again. Mayfield, contact, shove, win.
Jeremy Mayfield puts the bumper to the back of the 3 car. This is something back then that nobody has ever seen. Nobody ruffles Dale Sr.'s feathers. But today was the day that Jeremy Mayfield would nudge Dale Sr. out of the way for the victory at Pocono, gaining respect among the garage area. This is one of Mayfield's only wins that he's ever had in his NASCAR Cup Series career, and it couldn't have come in a better dramatic fashion.
Finish the punt.
Tony Stewart and Robbie Gordon got into it on the restart from that caution.
Just a couple of friends getting together.
Again.
And payback.
Last week, big disappointment. A lot better this week. A big gain, finishing 6th.
If you say so.
Well, and I do say so. I think it's a good thing, man. What are you feeling like right now?
Kicking Robbie Gordon's butt, to be honest. But
all right, Juan Pablo Montoya. What a run today, by the way, for the 41 car of Pruitt. And there's contact. Montoya and Pruitt come together. Montoya, they spin around through the grass and dirt goes Montoya. Pruitt's car has yet to fire. And the caution is out.
I will tell you, I would have never believed that in a million years. Juan Montoya is just so excited and just pressed the issue a little bit getting into turn 1. Let's take a look at this. As he gets into turn 1, he darts out underneath of him. Oh, man, that's a tough one right there, guys. It really is, because he's kind of got the spot on the 41 of Scott Pruitt. But when you get in that situation, things happen really, really quick. Let's watch it one more time. He's committing. Oh, tell you what. I really think that Juan Pablo just pressed that issue just a little too much. He's had such a great car. I would have probably waited another corner. Last thing Ganassi Racing wants to see, but it looks like it comes.
Absolutely, and here is Scott Pruitt, and very, very frustrated. And just, you know, you heard you see his voice of all people, Alan Bestwick.
With Scott Pruitt. Scott, what are your thoughts?
Of all the people to take you out, your teammate. I mean, that was just no good. Low, nasty, dirty driving. I mean, you know, the Juicy Fruit car ran great all day long. We were making our calls. We were being smart. I had my family at home. It's just, I can't even put it into words. It's just so disappointing. We talk about it and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it in meetings. He's faster than me. You know, we'll work it out. He can go, you know, but not take each other out. That's just bad driving.
Well, what do you say? You know, I mean, I totally feel for Scott Pruitt, but I think he's...
In his first ever win in NASCAR, Juan Pablo Montoya won in Mexico in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, but it definitely did not come without controversy. Montoya would wreck his teammate for the win with 8 laps to go, and at a road course this massive, he did not need to make a move that aggressive with still so many laps to go. Regardless, Montoya would still take home the victory, but it wasn't without tempers from Scott Pruitt. The penultimate race of the 2021 season saw Alex Bowman and Denny Hamlin race extremely hard. It came down to when both of them entered the corner side by side, and Alex Bowman's car slid up the racetrack and got into Hamlin. Hamlin would spin out, costing him multiple spots and lots of points. Luckily, Denny Hamlin was still able to advance the championship 4 after this race, but he was furious at Alex Bowman.
How about Alex?
And this is going to get interesting.
Oh, boy.
Denny Hamlin not happy with the way Bowman raced him.
Smart, Denny. Be smart. Big picture here. Big picture.
Maybe words of wisdom coming through the radio for Denny Hamlin.
I know he was frustrated. That was probably the best thing he could do is not make NASCAR have to get involved here. Get on back to the...
What is your take on the contact down there?
He's just a hack. He's just an absolute hack. He gets his ass kicked by his teammates every week. And just, you know, he's terrible. He's just terrible, and he's sees one opportunity and he takes it, but obviously you know, he's got the fastest car every week and he runs 10th, so he you know, didn't want to race us there. We had a good clean race. I moved up as high as I could on the racetrack to give him all the room I could, and he still can't drive.
To be that close with the day you guys had to come from the back, how much more frustrating does that make it to get cleaned out, in your opinion, there at the very end?
I didn't hear what you said.
To have the day you guys had.
Unfortunately, during the 2020 season, with 0 fans in attendance, it had one of the greatest races Bristol has ever seen. In my opinion, this Food City 500 during the COVID times was one of the best races in the Bristol Spring Race we've seen in decades. Unfortunately for Chase Elliott and Joey Logano, they would both end up wrecked after Elliott dive-bombed the 22 car, sending both of them into the outside wall, and Keselowski would take home the victory. Needless to say, Joey Logano was extremely furious with Elliott after the race.
A little bit farther, Mike, down pit road, catching up with Chase Elliott. Well, we caught up with Joey Logano, and he gave us his take. What's your take of what happened, Chase?
Just going for the win, you know, trying to get a run underneath him, got really loose in. I don't know if I had if I had a tire going down or if I just got loose on entry, but as soon as I turned off the wall, I had zero chance in making it. So, you know, I'll certainly take the blame. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I just got loose and got up into him. So, yeah, you know, I felt like that was my shot. He was really good on the short run, and I felt like I had to keep him behind me right there in order to win the race with only, you know, 3 or 4 laps to go. So,
what was your take of what happened between yourself and Elliott?
Oh, he wrecked me. I mean, he got loose underneath me. The part that's frustrating is afterwards, a simple apology, like be a man, come up to someone and say, hey, like, my bad. But I had to force an apology, which to me is just childish. But fast and clean. It's hard racing at the end. I get that. It's hard racing. But golly, man, be a man and take the hit when you're done with it.
During the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Kansas, we saw the 2 greatest rivals of this generation, Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch, go at each other one more time. Busch comes off turn number 4 and hits Keselowski in the quarter panel, sending him spinning and backing him into the wall. This was undoubtedly upsetting for Keselowski. Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 22 car, would get out of his race car, run down to Kyle Busch's pit stall, give his pit crew a hand motion. Surprisingly, this is one of the final times they've actually run into each other. Of course, they've done it a couple times years later, but this is one of the last ones.
He basically just dumped him. Certainly could have been avoided, no doubt about that.
That is Brad walking directly toward Kyle Busch's pit.
Guys, use your head. Don't be silly. We don't drive the car. We just work on it. Be smart.
Car and able to 22 to catch him.
Here comes the 22. He's closed the gap all over the back bumper now as they've caught the slower traffic. And around goes the 20, sideways in front of the 22. Kenseth slides. Caution comes out. And Kenseth cleared by Logano. Maybe no. Kenseth takes him out. Logano into the wall. Caution comes out and the crowd roars. This is what just took place.
And clearly, the 22 is lapping the 20, and 20 obviously intentionally wrecked him. And like what happened the week before was more than 2 weeks before was more than it should have been. And
Matt Kenseth already not having the day that he wanted to have. And the opportunity presented itself.
One of the greatest rivalries that we have ever seen in the playoff era was when Matt Kenseth finally had enough of Joey Logano and ultimately sending Logano spinning hard into the outside wall at Martinsville, getting respect among the garage area and fans alike. This was the day Matt Kenseth probably gained over 1 million fans after he took out championship points leader Joey Logano.
They're all within 5 positions of each other right now.
Oh, and he spins him. Carson Hocevar gets into the back of Corey Heim and brings out the caution, the 7th one tonight. Heim is backwards on the racetrack. So is Stuart Friesen.
I really don't understand that.
Well, he dove into turn 3 and popped him and went down in turn 1 and just spun him out.
And he's frustrated.
But shouldn't really affect how that truck runs, but tough break for Stuart Friesen, who is having another good run here at Phoenix.
On board with Carson Hocevar from his vantage point.
You see how much he slid up to get to the 11.
With 3 races to go in the 2010 season, it was time to make any gains you could on the racetrack, and Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton definitely did that. Jeff Gordon accidentally was turned under caution by Jeff Burton. He went hard into the outside wall, ending both their days. And under caution nonetheless. I expect Jeff Gordon to be angry, but I did not expect Jeff Gordon to be this angry. He went down to Jeff Burton's vehicle after he got out of his race car, and the shoving match began.
Gordon gets taken out, he says, by Jeff Burton. And look at how hard the hit is, guys. Well, after that, let's hear both sides of the story.
Honestly, I came off turn 4 with Jeff underneath me, and the sun's really bad off turn 4, and it's really hard to race over there right now, and I should have let him go, and I didn't. And caution came out, and he pulled up next to me to express his displeasure, and he was right. You know, we don't need to be racing side by side right there right now. And I went to pull back up to him to acknowledge him. And when we did, I was turning left. I don't know, we hooked somehow. And when we hooked, around we went. And we got hooked up together. It's the stupidest thing I think I might have ever done. Like I said, I was pulling up next to him to acknowledge him and say, look, I'm cool, I got you. And we just got together and wrecked both cars.
You know, I don't know how far back they went with the cameras there, but we went into turn 3 and he went up to the wall where he was running. I went down to about the second group where I was running. And by the time we got in the middle of the corner, he just turned left and got on my door and got me really loose. And he said the sun got in his eyes. But then we got down, the caution came out, we got down into 1. You know, I just drove up next to him to show him my displeasure with what went on. And he just wrecked us, just flat out wrecked us, turned us right in the wall and collected himself. It was pretty stupid. And, you know, he admitted it later.
How surprised were you when Jeff came after you with the fifth?
I wasn't at all surprised. I went to go see him because I knew he was going to be mad. I knew he was going to be mad, and I fully expected it. You know, I don't blame him. You know, hell, I would have been mad if I was him too. I really don't blame him. You know, it's you know, he was mad, and I was right there, and he was wanting some of it.
He deserved a lot more than that, I can tell you that. You know, that kind of stuff is just ridiculous and uncalled for. And you know, I mean, Jeff and I will. You know, I just like the guy too much that we'll be able to go on and race one another and stuff like that. I just couldn't believe how much respect I lost for a guy like Jeff to do something like that. I thought it was really stupid. And you know, I can't, sometimes I can't hold my emotions back, and believe it or not, I was holding them back right there.
Motors and how about Johnny Morris and Bass Pro Shop and everybody who allows us to get here is pretty wild there.
Hey, you ever fucking do that?
All right, let's go down to Wendy Venturini, who is with our race winner.
He's guaranteed a spot in that playoff with a win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Justin Allgaier, I heard you say you've wanted to win this race for a long time. Tears in your eyes. Tell us the emotion you're feeling and why it's so important.
Noah Gragson is a young driver who is not afraid to wear his emotions on his sleeves. When he's happy, he shows it. But when he's mad, he definitely will let you know if he's upset with somebody. He was upset with Daniel Hemrick after this race, and he did not hold back.
Yep. Yeah. Grab somebody, and it's going to come back the other way.
And tempers overflowed.
What? Everybody didn't know if he was going to be a fighter outside of that car. Proved that wrong. We got that settled.
Continuing off Noah Gragson, he was run into by Ross Chastain during the 2023 Kansas race. He ended up walking down to Ross Chastain's car, tried to have a few words with him until Ross Chastain sucker punched him right in the face.
Front straightaway, hard in the wall goes Hamlin. Chase Elliott. Hard impact for Denny Hamlin. That was a savage crash right at the start-finish line.
The inside of Chase gets loose. You see him lift out of the gas. The flames crowded Chase, got into him. They saw some retaliation there.
Or did Keselowski get into the left rear corner of Elliott there?
I got right rear hooked in the middle straightaway.
Did you think there was any kind of retaliation there, or what was the deal? What led to that?
Yeah, it's a tantrum, and he shouldn't be racing next week. Right rear hooks are absolutely unacceptable. I don't care. It's same thing Bubba Wallace did with Kyle Larson. The exact same. He shouldn't be racing. It's a tantrum.
Chase Elliott intentionally crashes Denny Hamlin after being put in the wall by Hamlin. Chase Elliott was shown on that day to have a short temper. He was hit in the wall by Hamlin and then immediately did a horrible right hook Denny Hamlin into the wall head on.